And welcome. Did Dirty Harry fire 6 or only 5? A question he poses for two villains in the Dirty Harry movie. Or does he go down the Hollywood trope of as many bullets as necessary for the plot? Well, we'll find out. He's just come out of a diner eating a hot dog and stopping this bank robbery. There's 1 round, 2 rounds, 3, 4, 5, and after all these cutaways, and number 6. Nice shot that. So 6 rounds are fired, and the Magnum 44 of course has 6 rounds. Or did it? Because of this, I would suspect. There you go. Just go down here. Right. So up to now he's fired 3. The round you heard there, or it's actually off screen. So I would suggest it was added in post, because obviously there's no Harry Callahan in the shot. You just got a driver's view at the back, obviously where the camera's positioned, and then so obviously someone's added that in post because someone didn't storyboard it correctly. So he did fire 6, but he didn't fire 6. Next one, climax in the movie, while the villain here, Scorpio, is evading Callahan. He just, if I can remember correctly, the Scorpio has just abandoned a bus full of kidnapped children, and he's fleeing. Well, he's running into a rock quarry to escape him, to escape Callahan. I think rock quarry was. Actually, it was in San Francisco, I don't think. I think it was outside, and about 20 miles away, I think, in California. Anyhow, so he's flying. He's fleeing up into the actual building. There's Callahan giving chase. There you go. So Scorpio here, he's got a Walther P38, which fires 8 rounds. Now, of course, like I said before. Harry Callahan, aka good old Clint Eastwood, has got a Magnum 44. And again, obviously, 6 rounds. So let's count these rounds off. 1. Okay, Callahan now has actually fired once. He's got 5 left. Scorpio. Played by the Andrew Robinson, has fired several rounds into the roof of the bus where Callahan jumped on in the bridge and forces him to crash. So he's already fired. I think it's about 4 rounds that he's already fired. So that'd make it like 5 rounds. So let's carry on. So he goes into this rather. I must admit, it's a nice touch by Robinson because in the towards like the end of the first act, Scorpio here, he attacks. He tries to kill Callahan and his partner Chico. Gonzalez. It's a park. It's a cross in the middle, top of like a high rise in this park, and he gets stabbed in the leg by Callahan. It's quite nice. It's a nice little touch by him, because he's actually, he's running as if he's still got the injury in his leg. I'd say most movies like that, you can get like a flesh wound. Or you can get shot or stabbed in a position, let's say your leg or your arm, and all of a sudden 10 minutes, 20 minutes into the into the deeper into the movie. Let's say the person's flexing it like it's it's just fine. But this is a nice touch because obviously he's limping like mad because if you get a 12-inch, 18-inch blade jammed in your leg, well, his thigh actually, you're gonna limp for a long time. Anyhow, here we go. Carry on. So again, it is a nice touch by him, I must admit. Right, here we go. 1 round. Callahan now has fired 2 rounds. So he has 4 left. And I do like this little section here where obviously Clint Eastwood's actually using it's a real Magnum. It's Magnum 44. It's powerful. It's a powerful handgun, and obviously he's got blanks in it. And the overpressure's that much, especially in a confined space. It's actually literally blown all this debris and dust up from been collected for years, probably on this conveyor belt, up into the roof and all this kind of area. He's actually blowing it away. The overpressure. It's a powerful weapon. Okay. He's getting on the thing there. Again, you see, he's let's have a look. Yeah, he's mainly, I think he's out of rounds there. So obviously, he's fired most of his round off. He already knows he's probably counting himself. And then he's put a fresh magazine into it, which is now he's got 8 rounds. So he's got 8 rounds more than, well, he's got 4 more than Callahan, because obviously he's got 4 left and he's got 8, so he's basically doubled it. There you go. Callahan just fired his 3rd shot off the conveyor belt, which is a shame really, because the editing's a bit quick. You don't really see him fire it, so for whatever reason they cut it straight back, which that's a few more seconds, but obviously they decided to cut it back. There he goes again, doing his own stunts, which is quite usual from Eastwood. He'd had this he's making a movie called the Eiger Sanction, and wanted to obviously climbing the Eiger, and one of the people who helped him, professional climber, he was killed. I think a rock fell on his head, killed him outright. So I think ever since then, I think Eastwood got, like, if he could do them, I think he decided to do it himself. Because having someone die on your shoot must have been a pretty hard thing for him. But he's a hard-known pro, is Eastwood. He just gets on with it. So there we go. Right, 6 rounds he's got left in that gun. Right, it's fired again, so he's got 4 rounds left. He's got 4 rounds left, and obviously Callahan now has fired. He has got 2 rounds left in his Magnum. That was a nice touch again, putting a squib there so you can basically blow a big hole where that was. So here we go again. Scorpio's weapons in this movie are quite interesting, considering where he, he's what 19. I just told us a minute. About what is it, 19? I think it's 1970s and late. A lot. I mean, he uses a obviously, like I said, he uses a Walther P38. And also one of the scene, like I explained, when he gets stabbed, he uses an MP40, which is a submachine gun. And at the beginning of the movie, where he shoots a young lady in a swimming pool, he uses a strip. It's like a stripped down sniper rifle. I think it's a paratrooper rifle in World War II. And they're all German, so obviously, a lot of GIs went over to, obviously coming back from the war in Europe, probably stole all these Nazi weapons and brought them back with them. So quite a lot of them, all these ended up on the streets, through being stolen or sold, or or perhaps the criminals were ex servicemen, and then so it's quite the choices of his weaponry is because most of this stuff was pretty reliable on the streets. So he would. I mean, he would. It's a good choice. It's a good choice for this character anyway. Anyhow, so obviously there's the human shield that Scorpio's going to go for. Right, there we go. He's going to fire his 3 rounds off. Right, he's fired 3 rounds. So he's fired 3 rounds. So now he's down to 1, and Callahan has got 2 rounds left in his weapon. So off, so off he goes to head towards his human shield here, like a good little psychopath. I gotta say that Scorpio, Andromeda's Scorpio is, he's got to one of the best cinema villains. He plays him superbly. He's wonderful in the role. I mean, even so, on the streets, sometimes he bumped into people after the film came out when he got quite. It was very very successful. People would have a go at him on this. I'm thinking obviously confusing the actual actor with the actual role he played. That's how good he was. In fact, a film in the 80s, I think it was, called I think it was called Deadly Pursuit. I'm sure Sidney Poitier was in it, where he's tracking down I think it was a serial killer on a hiking expedition, and Robinson was in it. So it's obviously playing a well-known psychopathic murderer. It's like everyone saw him in the movie. So if you knew like Dirty Harry, the movie, and the character he played, most everyone was saying, he's got to be the villain. He's got to be the villain, which in the end it turned to be kind of switch and bait, because he wasn't. He ended up being a victim, I think. So again, the power that's the power of his performance. Even reverberated down to the 80s. So there you go. Okay, back to Harry Callahan here, who's not looking very pleased. That laugh, he's just superb. He really is great. He's sussing out, thinking, I drop this gun, I'm going to die. So obviously, there you go. Nice shot. So, obviously, the human shield is like anybody with self protection in your head. What was it? Fight or flight. Like, this kid's gonna run for it, and I don't blame him. He's off. He's quite quick as well. The director had a word with him. So anyway, Callahan, he's not happy, as you can see. He's kind of looking down as against some sort of specimen. And there he goes. The gun's just the setup as previously in the bank robbery, and but this time.
I know what you're thinking, Bunk. You're thinking, did he fire 6 shots or only 5?
But this time, Eastwood's playing him as not as lightly as he did before. He played him, it wasn't lightly. So, this is more of a. He's angry. You can see his face. He's all contorted up. Nice piece of acting by Eastwood here. It's like a chalk and cheese to the other one. This one he's been through a lot. His character's been through a lot, and he's basically had enough of this guy. He basically wants him well, we want him dead. But of course, he's a policeman. He's not allowed to do such a thing. So, if he can't kill him as he stood there doing it now, he's going to do it another way. He's basically going to taunt him. He's basically going to play the psychopathic against himself, against his nature, his own nature. Yeah. So obviously, all these lines now are said, and just to basically to bait him.
I forgot myself and all this excitement. But being this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and will blow your head clean off.
See, so I mean, you know, the tight jaw, his eyes are glaring down at Scorpio. You know, the hatred's there, and obviously Scorpio basically he's again, you know, Scorpio basically he's not daft. You know, he's trying to suss out how many rounds did he fire with that gun. Well, did he reload? He doesn't know. But he didn't see him reload. But I mean, obviously, he would have spare things on it. Eventually, well, he should have.
You could ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky?
I mean, looking up at that rather intimidating gun, pointing at your head,
Do you, punk?
not particularly nice. And there you go. See, Scorpio basically as he's thinking, yeah, you're bluffing me. You know, I'm going to pick my gun up. I'm going to shoot you. Why is he? Well, I don't know if you missed that actually. Just put it a bit. You'll see. Watch his. He has a little micro smile here because he knows he's going to pick it up. What? Tiny little micro smile. Again, he did it there as well. There, a little. Well, as he picked a gun up, he kind of is a nice little subtle acting by Eastwood there. He just smiled as he knew he suckered his guy in to basically pick his gun up and you know, well, basically give him the permission he needs to basically to shoot him, and shoot him he does. As just there you go. You know, the end of the character and the end of his character arc, and obviously the protagonist and the villain's story is now complete. You know, to answer the question, you know, did he fire 6 or only 5? And the first one, as I said, he did and he didn't. The other one was obviously added in post because somebody messed up and didn't do it correctly. But this one, I suspect it was you know, the storyboarding was more effective. So there you go. The question's answered. And no, it isn't a typical Hollywood trope. It's actually based in kind of a reality, if you want to call it that. Anyhow, well, that's the end of this. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell for new content.